Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're out the range with the new LC Carbine from Ruger. This one's chambered in 45 ACP. Now I can tell you right off the bat that Ruger made a massive mistake in bringing this gun to market. It's got some serious problems. It's not 10 millimeter, but I'll take 45 ACP because it's God's cartridge as well, about as American as baseball and apple pie. So I'll take it, but Ruger, the next one, not 9 millimeter. You already have that other carbine you're doing, 10 millimeter please. But beyond that, the LC Carbine, this is the 45 version of a firearm we featured here on the Military Arms channel before, almost identical to this one, just chambered in 5.7, and that was pretty cool. So they figured, well, we already have a 9 millimeter carbine out there. Let's go ahead and make this in 45 ACP, not 10 millimeter, but I've already had that conversation with you, and here it is. Now, 45 ACP is a great cartridge. It's inherently suppressible, which is standard 230 grain ball. It's subsonic, so you can put a can on it, and it does have a threaded barrel, but we'll go over all those features, pricing, and all that good stuff in the video. But let's get started by doing a little bit of shooting with the LC Carbine and 45 ACP. And yeah, challenge steel target right there. Let's just light her up. Woo! She shoots nice. Pretty cool. Let's take a closer look at the LC Carbine. Hey guys, I'm at a trade show and I'm roaming around looking for interesting things. Now, as you well know, I'm a big fan of the P365 from SIG and also the P320. Now, the cool thing about the P320 is that it has a modular trigger system. That means with your factory handgun, you can pull your trigger system out and put it into a different grip frame. Now, of course, SIG sells various grip frames, but they're also, that leaves the door wide open for third parties to step in and make some really, truly exceptional products. And this is one such example. Now, this grip frame is from Mirzon, and it costs $120. And again, you just take your trigger system out, pop it in here, and then you get the ergonomic improvements that this handgun frame offers. You'll notice it has rubberized grips on it. Feels really, really good in the hand. I mean, you'd have to hold this thing to truly appreciate just how comfortable it is, which with ergonomics improved, it means better shooting, typically faster shot recovery times and better accuracy many times when you're talking about those improved ergonomics. So you can pick one of these frames up for $120. For a minimal fee, you can get it in a single color of Cerakote, pick your color. You can even get it distressed, again, for a minimal upcharge. Now, they don't just offer the grip frames. If you want something even more customized, they also offer slides, and this slide is really, really nice. Look at the texturing on it. It's nice and aggressive, and you have it on the tops and the sides, forward and rear. And it's a drop-in upgrade. You use your internal hardware parts, drop it into the slide, put it on your new frame, and you have a whole new handgun. So please check them out. It's Mirzon, M-I-R-Z-O-N. Check them out online, and I think you'll really enjoy the products. Let's quickly go over the features of the new 45 LC Carbine from Ruger, and we'll start off back here with the buttstock. The buttstock is a folding stock, so you can push a little button here, it'll fold to the side. And then you have kind of a spring-loaded detent that'll kind of hold it in place, but if you give it a good yank, it'll pop open. So it's not locking, but it's a very strong detent that'll keep it from accidentally deploying. It is adjustable for length of pull. You just pull on the little lever here, and you can slide this in and out. If you want to take this little cheek piece off, you just pop the little rear tab up here. This will slide back. Just like a standard M4 stock, pull down on the pin, slide the stock completely off, and the cheek piece will slide right off the rear end. And then you can put your stock back on if you don't want the cheek piece on there for some reason. Go ahead and put it back in place here, lock it, and set it to the position I like, which is right about there. All right, then you have a 1913 rail here on the back, a little QD socket right there. On the rear, if you want to put a QD in the front, you can use one of the mini M-LOK slots that are out there and put an adapter. It comes with rapid deploying backup sights that are polymer. They will lock in the folded position. You just hit a button and they'll release. It has an all aluminum receiver. It's a chunk. It's not lightweight by any stretch of the imagination. It has a polymer lower. The magazine is a standard Glock style magazine, 21. And so it'll come with an SGM magazine, but it will use standard Glock magazines. Now, you want to use the magazines that because you can reverse the magazine release to one side or the other, you'll want, if you're going to do that and run it left-handed, you're going to want to get a Glock magazine that's cut on both sides so that the magazines will work earlier. Gen 1, Gen 2 mags even, I think, will only have the mag cut on one side, and therefore those mags won't work if you move the mag catch over to the other side. On the left-hand side, we have a 1911 style safety here, and this is a bolt stop bolt release. So it's textured on the bottom so you can push up on it, and it's textured on the top so you can push down on it. And the safety is ambi. Over here, we have a push button. So if you lock the bolt to the rear, you can reach up with your index finger after you insert a magazine, push that button, and drop the bolt. That's a nice touch. That's in a very good location. That's your takedown pin. On the side of the bolt here, you're going to notice some texturing, some serrations on the side, and the extractor. I'm able to push on the extractor. I had to contact Ruger what that was all about because I couldn't find anything in the owner's manual. And it turns out that when you insert a full magazine into it, well, if you want a single load around, then put a magazine in to top it off without feeding from the magazine, drop the magazine out, put another round in and put it back in the grip. If you just want to pull the bolt to the rear, drop a live round in there. Well, when you ease it forward, you can push on the extractor and ease it over the rim, therefore it doesn't pop over the rim. When the gun feeds from a magazine, it comes back and starts to push the round out of the magazine, the rim slides up under the extractor, it doesn't pop over it. And so that's to prevent broken extractors. Never seen that feature before. Then we have a pick rail across the top here. That's where I have my red dot sight mounted. We have a non-reciprocating charging handle on the left-hand side, but it can be moved over to the right-hand side. All right, we do have, coming back to the trigger here, we do have an inertial safety. I call it a dingus right there in the middle of the trigger. And this does have a hammer in here. So it's not a striker-fired gun. It is a hammer-fired gun. The bolt overhangs the barrel. The barrel comes back into here. So you have a massive bolt in there because it's just a simple blowback mechanism. Out here on the front end, we have handguards that are different from the original 5.7 gun, has more M-lock slots on it, and they go all the way around. So you can put all sorts of accessories out there. Do have a 1913 rail here. We found a purpose for it, but outside of that single purpose, I don't know what other purpose it might serve. If you try to put a flashlight back here, when you put your hand here, you're gonna block your own flashlight's cast. So it doesn't really serve in that capacity, but a vertical grip will work. Barrel is threaded, standard 45 ACP thread, so you can put suppressors on there and other muzzle devices. Has an O-ring in there that's going to keep it tensioned so it won't walk off while you're shooting it. So many modern guns come with threaded barrels and a muzzle protector like that, but they don't do anything to tension it to keep it from backing off during firing. So you'll either lose it while you're out shooting or you're constantly having to reach up there and retighten it. Don't have to worry about that with the nice little O-ring. And I think that's pretty much all the features. We'll take it apart, show you what it looks like on the inside. But yeah, very interesting, well-made gun. Being simple blowback and being all metal, you know, it's big, it's kind of heavy, but the recoil impulse is really kind of mild. So very smooth action on it. Yeah, so anyway, it does have a little detent that locks that forward, but it seems like under recoil, it can come loose. Not that big of a deal. Important part, non-reciprocating. All right, let's take it apart, look on the inside, do some more shooting with it. So the LC Carbine 45 ACP is a multi-functioning tool. We have a target out 100 meters away, and it can perform as a precision rifle. Oh yeah, but not only that, guys, when you get done snipping, put the magazine in and go for it. All right, so let's take the LC Carbine apart and take a look at it on the inside. Very similar in design to the original 5.7, but just upsized a bit, especially here in the receiver. It's a bit longer on the 45 ACP than the 5.7, but it's basically the same basic operating system. So let's go ahead and take it apart by first dropping the magazine out and then making sure that bolt and chamber area is clear of any live ammunition, and it is. And so we're gonna leave that bolt in the forward position. Now we can take it apart. Now, if you're like me, you have a 5.7 LC Carbine, and yeah, so you can take one of your useless 5.7 cartridges and use it to take apart your far more effective 45 ACP firearm, and you use the tip of the bullet to do that. There's a push pin right here in the front. I wanna push it from the left-hand side, my left-hand side, across, and now it's a captive pin. Don't yank on it too hard because you can defeat the captive nature of the pin by pulling too hard, but it should stay back or out like that. Just pull it till it stops, then pull back on the pistol grip, and the lower receiver will come right off the carbine. Inside, you can see the little hammer right there I was talking about earlier, being hammer fired, and that's pretty much all we need to know about that. All right, so let's take the bolt apart. Now it's a two-piece bolt, just like the 5.7. So first we're going to pull back on the charging handle. I'm going to do that with my left hand, and I'm going to get the bolt to the rear. I'm going to lift up on it, and there's a little horseshoe cut right here, and it dovetails into the second part of the bolt, which for now is going to stay inside of the gun. So there's the first half with the bolt facing the extractor on it. And then you can reach back here. There's a little cutout right there. Push forward on this rubber buffer. Kind of compress the spring a little bit and lift up. There we go. And get your recoil spring out. And once that's out, you can pull the bolt to the rear, pull this one all the way to the back, and then you can lift up on this one as well. And there's the second half of the bolt. Now you can see how this is designed. Here's the barrel coming back into the receiver, how this is designed to ride over the barrel. And that's something that guns like the Uzi did, for example, which allows you to put mass of the bolt forward and not have to have it all behind the barrel, which would increase the length of the gun considerably. All right, so how does this work? See how those two dovetail together, and it makes one big, massive bolt. Pretty simple. Put it back together, just reverse the process. Drop this bolt half in. Once you get it the right way, drop it in there, push it forward, take your recoil spring, put it back in there, push forward and down, draw the bolt to the rear, line up the dovetails, make sure that dovetails in there and they move together as one piece, and then you can put the lower half back on. Make sure this pin's fully out, set the lower just a little bit back like that and push it forward till it pops, push the pin across, and she's back together. Very simple and easy to take care of. It is a fun little carbine to shoot for sure. You know, for a simple blowback mechanism and 45 ACP with that massive bolt bouncing around in there, the recoil is actually pretty mild. It's a little bit jarring, you'll feel the abrupt nature of it, but as far as blowback guns go, it's pretty smooth. Probably has something to do with the overall weight of the firearm, which is partly by design, I would imagine. But the ergonomics are really good. The pistol grip feels nice and comfortable. I do have large hands. I do like the fact that you can use other magazines that are out there, like the Chris Mag, so you can get a little bit more capacité in there. You know, the vertical grip, you know, with the deployable bipod, you have to admit that's pretty cool because you got a button to push. Who doesn't love a good button to push? And then, of course, the suppressor. This is a Griffin Armament. I've had this one for quite some time. And overall, in this configuration, I think it's pretty darn fun. Yeah, not bad. Now, the price on these, $1,009 full retail. So you can generally find them for a bit less at your local gun store. Full retail isn't what they generally sell them for when you find them hanging on the wall for sale somewhere. So overall, I mean, it's not inexpensive. There are less expensive rifles out there, like CZs and stuff like that. Well, actually, I think those are probably about the same price, aren't they? But you have some 45 ACP AR-15 type firearms out there that are pretty affordable, certainly more in 9mm. But at $1,000 or a little under, it's not horribly priced in today's Bidenomics environment. So yeah, pretty fun. As far as 45 ACPs go, you don't have a whole bunch of options out there, but if you're a 1911 carrying person, we love you over here at the Military Arms Channel, this might make a good companion. Or it'd probably even make more sense if you carry a Glock 21, because you get the Glock mags, and then you have that compatibility between your carbine and your pistol. That certainly has certain merit to it. Cowboys certainly love doing that, chambering their rifles with the same cartridge as their pistols, for good reason, logistics. I have to show it to you guys. This is the original LC Carbine, 5.7 by 28. Now, talk about no recoil. This gun has no recoil. Yeah, expensive to shoot, makes a lot of noise, cool cartridge. But if I had to take my pick between this and the 45 ACP, I'd take the 10mm. Overall, the LC Carbine and 45 ACP is a lot of fun to shoot. If you already have 45 ACP on hand, you're looking for a carbine to complement your handguns and other firearms you may have, the LC Carbine would be something to look at and take into consideration. The price is fair, the quality is good, it's got some quirks, it's heavy, it's direct blowback, things like that. but those aren't bad things. It actually makes the gun very pleasant to shoot. So overall, as far as 45 ACP carbines go, I'd say this thing is pretty high on my list of fun guns to shoot in that chambering. So if you're interested in one, shop around, watch some other videos, see if it's something that is for you. Certainly, as I always recommend, try to get to a local gun store, put your hands on one, and see if it's something that you're definitely interested in. All right, guys, if you have any questions about the LC Carbine and 45, you can ask those questions down below. I do try to stick around for the first couple of days when a video goes live to answer any questions you guys may have. If you would like to support us here at the Military Arms channel and definitely get direct answers to any questions you may have, consider becoming part of our Patreon family. There's a link in the video description below. Also, right here on YouTube, you got the thanks and subscribe button. You can hit either one of those buttons underneath the video player you're watching right now and help support us here on YouTube in the age of demonetization. Last but not least, please swing by, check out Copper Custom. Thank you for 16 years of support, and we'll talk to you guys soon.